All right, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news, earthquake out west in California. Let's check it out. All right, hold on a minute here. I posted it in my chat going on.
And it was shaking, and so much so that I reverted back to childhood and got under my desk. I thought, this is it.
Okay.
It was crazy.
And I imagine that everybody was very nervous.
Yeah, the great thing about a small community is after it happened, I ran outside because I knew some of my family members were nearby. And of course, every car alarm on Main Street was going off, and every business owner and every shopper just flooded the sidewalks with everybody checking on each other, laughing and nervously, and just making sure that everybody was okay, yelling down the street, "Are you okay? I'm okay."
Robin, stay with us for just a moment. We do want to take a moment to welcome our CBS 2 KCAL on Channel 2 and Channel 9. We are now simulcasting at 11 a.m., bringing both stations the latest information about this 5.2 earthquake that struck in the Julian area at 10:08 this morning. On the phone with us right now is Robin Boland from the Julian Chamber of Commerce. Robin, I want to let you keep on going about what you felt. You know, a lot of people have been talking about the difference in this earthquake compared to others. Now, clearly it's not the biggest one, but for so many people, it has felt like the biggest one. Explain that to us.
Yeah, so many people obviously feeling like it's or being their first earthquake that they've felt. I grew up in the Bay Area, so earthquakes were just sort of funny. But it being an old buildings, a historic town, it really felt like, honestly, I did believe if it kept going, I was just standing there going, this building's not going to withstand this. I was very, very scared. And talking to my daughter-in-law, she felt like it was super fast, and I literally felt like it went on for minutes. It was just very frightening. And everybody in town seemed to react to it. Again, everybody running out to the sidewalks on Main Street, Julian, which we are a very small little town. And so everybody was just outside checking on each other, and all the car alarms were going off, and everybody just was, it was so great that the first word out of everyone's mouth is, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And so everybody seemed to be okay, just shaken, because everything on this Main Street is pretty historic. So the building's really, really rattled.
Yeah, and those of us in San Diego who grew up there, and also people here in LA, we know Julian for its pies and going apple picking and doing all of that. It's such a quaint little community. And what about in terms of damage? I know you said the building you were in, city, like a city building. Is it a city building?
Well, we're unincorporated, but it is the town hall, and it's 110 years old. So
so a historic building. And did you see any damage at all?
No, I haven't. By coincidence, there's a plumber here doing some other work. And so I asked him before he leaves to, go underneath the building just to make sure none of the pipes were broken. We recently just had our porch all redone, so I feel safe about that. But it's good to just check and see if anything kind of shifted down there. So he's going to do that for me before he leaves.
Yeah, and I do want to mention to our viewers right now that we are looking at some video from a liquor store in Julian where you can see some bottles that have actually fallen off shelves. Remarkably, it's not as many as you would think, but we definitely see some that have tipped over, some have fallen onto the ground. But, based on what everyone has been saying about this being so strong, it's surprising that we're not seeing more.
Yeah, and Robin, we're going to let you go because we actually have another person on the phone to talk to us, but we just want to say thank you for calling in. I know how scary this can be, and we appreciate just your perspective, because I know a lot of people here in LA have family in San Diego, so they're worried about them, especially if they live near Julian, but it sounds like you and the community are safe and you are okay.
We are, and thank you for caring about Julian. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you guys have some of the best apple pie, so
okay.
Thank you so much.
See you soon. Take care.
Wow. And we're just, continuing to see the broken glass on the floor here in this liquor store. Again, this is in Julian, where that 5.2 earthquake struck at 10:08 this morning. What we have learned is that it was 13 kilometers below the surface. And yesterday, in fact, there was a 3.5 that struck around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But, as we've been talking to different people throughout the morning, hearing from people, Christine Lazar and myself, Amy Johnson, we are here with you at 11 o'clock. We both grew up in the San Diego area, Christine along the coast, myself in Poway. I heard from my dad while we were on the air. I was texting with him to make sure that he is okay. He lives near the Ramona area, between Poway and Ramona. And my father and mother moved to the area in the early 70s and have experienced plenty of earthquakes. But he says this is the worst one he has felt in all of those years.
Yeah, and we want to check in now with Dylan Carnero. I believe he took this video at this liquor store in Julian. Dylan, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am, I'm right here.
And so this is your video. Is this the liquor store you were in when the earthquake happened?
Yes, ma'am.
So talk to us about what happened and what you saw.
So, caught me at a bad time, but I was just about to use the restroom and everything, so I was in there. And it started, the earthquake started happening, everything started shaking. And I just hear, consecutive, 3 to 4 different, bursts and, pops and everything of different bottles. And I was it was more so my goal, obviously, to get outside and away from buildings. But there was one final, there was a total of 4 damages and everything like that, yeah.
And it was just bottles coming off the shelves, that sort of thing?
Oh, yeah, top shelf bottles, of course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Did you have people in the store when it happened, and how did they react?
No, thank God. It was just me. I just locked up for the quick second, so it was quote unquote perfect timing, if anything.
Yeah. And you've never had bottles like this falling off the shelves like this in the past earthquakes?
Oh, so I've been in Julian for 15 years, and I've been working here for about 5. And this is definitely the biggest one I've ever encountered, for sure.
Did you feel the one yesterday?
I did. So I was thinking it was going to be the same deal, so I wasn't too worried about it. I was still obviously what's that one? Certain word that I can't figure out right now. But yeah, I was just thinking it was going to be another small one, but yeah, I did feel that one.
And what are you hearing? Julian's a very small and tight-knit community. Are you hearing from friends?
All right, so we just had a 5.2 out there in California, which a lot of people are saying it felt like the big one, but no, the 5.2 ain't the big one, but the big one probably is on its way. So I'm going to look and see what else we got here with this earthquake. All right, here is some breaking footage of the earthquake south of Julian. Let's look. All right, I found some more footage. Let's check this out. They are checking the bridge out in San Diego, that giant bridge, to make sure there wasn't no structural damage. Let's check this out.
I think that's what caught a lot of people, because this one was pretty loud. I mean, I've experienced numerous earthquakes here throughout my lifetime in San Diego County, and this was one of the larger ones that I do remember in recent years. Again, this is up in the North County. We also got some video in El Cajon. This is in the East County, and this just shows some of the shaking that we all felt. and just how loud it was. So hopefully, Jerry, thank you for sending us this video. Hopefully everything is fine at your home. If you do have any video or if you have any comments, feel free to send them to me as I continue to bring you coverage here throughout 10 News Midday. Marie Cornell also tracking a lot here online. Let's go ahead and check back in with her. Marie.
All right, Mel, so again, at this point, there is only one reported outage on the SCG&E outage map. But as we are monitoring social media, a lot of the different agencies say at this point they are assessing for any damage. Again, as we mentioned.
All right. So they're saying that it was pretty big. They were able to hear it, and it was very loud, probably the worst one they ever had. And I imagine that was because the fault line gave way. That's why it was so loud. And she's moving, right? The earth is, the crust of the earth is constantly moving. And it might have slipped and gave way at the fault line. And that's why it was so loud and everything. And I imagine there's going to be another one on the way. Just be safe out there, folks. That's all we can pretty much say. Stay safe. And, it's common. It's common out there, right? And what's really freaky is the one out here in the Midwest that runs from upper peninsulas of Michigan down south. That has now become active. So we got a lot of changes going on. Now, also the tornado pattern, its path of tornado season has changed. Now, whether it's following the lava that's flowing through the tubes, whether it's a change in the pattern and the places where tornadoes are happening because of the magnetic field broke loose. But I can tell you this much: hunker down. Now, I will be back. I just got back. I had to go do some stuff for my mother real quick, rake out her garden. And I brought a bunch of stuff and threw it away that I don't want in my shed. And I'm going to continue to bring you guys the news. And breaking news with Ernie Shell, right? Somebody contacted the big guy, Michael Cohen, who had all the records of every secret task force and everything that was broke. That there's no record of Mr. Ernie Shell. Now, we don't know if that's true. He's saying they keep. Well, you got to watch out, because what do? They're scammers, right? They're scammers. So he might be trying to get, tell me we're suing you for this and that and this and that. No, you're going to sue anybody. You'll have to sue the people that put out the video of Michael Cohen telling you that you don't exist in the military or special ops or anything like that, right? I've been telling them, trying to Raven, calling Tiger Ops. Come in, Ernie. Raven, calling Tiger Ops. Come in, Ernie. And I've gotten no reply. So he just ain't listening. He's not breaking radio silence. You folks have a great day. God bless. I'll be back with more now. Like we said before, there's going to be aftershocks, or maybe even a bigger one. So be safe. I'll be back.